Thank you for watching CBS 8 Plus and welcome to this Throwback special. I'm Carlo Cicchetto. With more than 70 years of broadcasting, we have covered many memorable moments here in San Diego. In this Throwback special, we dove into our CBS 8 archives and found 3 letters, OTL. The Over-the-Line World Championship. It's a San Diego tradition like no other. Bats, balls, beer, and bikini featured for 2 wild weekends in July on Fiesta Island. By the 1970s, the event was getting bigger by the year, and the organizers were doing everything they could to keep up.
Ever heard of the game Indian ball? Probably not, unless you're from the St. Louis area, and even then it'd have to have been quite a few years back. Well, Indian ball has evolved into one of the biggest, most fun attractions for us folks here in San Diego. I'm standing on Fiesta Island. It's not much of an island to look at. In fact, for most of us, it's just a good place to come, bring your dog, and run for a couple of hours. But for 2 weeks out of the year, Fiesta Island turns into one of the most exciting attractions you'll ever find. It's the annual Over-the-Line tournament, and let me tell you, it's quite a happening. The girls squeeze into their smallest bikinis. The guys, when not concentrating on the girls, concentrate on some serious beer drinking and some serious over-the-line playing. But what is the game? The rules behind it? Well, Mike Curran, one of the founders of the tournament, explained the game to me.
Well, we figure we can handle 650 or 60 teams, and it's double elimination, and we get them out of here. There's not that many teams left. We played 787 games last weekend. We have 450 approximately to play this weekend, and I don't think we'll have any problem. Well, the rules are pretty simple. It's just 3 people on a side, and it's basically hit the ball over the line. That's the name of the game, without the other people catching it, of course.
Aren't there certain things you can't do and can do in order to either catch the ball or when you hit the ball over the line?
Well, there's a triangle out in front. You hit it in there, and you're out. 2 fouls are an out. 1 strike is an out. They catch the ball, you're out. If they don't catch it, it's a hit. 3 hits is a run, and the most runs win.
I'm back on Fiesta Island this afternoon, and it's the final day of the Over-the-Line. The sun's finally out, and the 23rd year of the Over-the-Line tournament is almost over. Billy Chang, former treasurer of the OMBAC Association, talked to me this afternoon and told me exactly where the funds from this tournament go.
Part of the money was used to put stands like this together for the materials, for also, you know, all the costs involved in putting a project like this together. I think some people don't realize there's about 100 members working 3 weeks before the tournament, and Saturday, Sunday on both weekends. And we're talking about 3,000 or 4,000 man-hours. So if you think about that, you know, most of us do the work where we'd be paying $5, $10 an hour for it. So you put that in numbers, we're talking about $50,000 to go outside and get someone to run this tournament.
So actually the tournament loses money?
Oh, definitely. We have never broken even without taking into consideration the labor costs involved and the people that works at this tournament. And there are a lot of people donating materials and time and things that to us, you know.
OMBAC is a non-profit organization.
Well, definitely. We're trying, and we're trying to convince the Internal Revenue Service and the Franchise Tax Board to give us exempt status. So we're working on that.
Now, the Boy Scouts are involved in this year.
That's right. They are picking up all the aluminum cans, and then they take the cans, and that will be their whole year's funding for some of these people. So, you know, I guess we more or less touch a little bit on everybody.
How do you evaluate this year's Over-the-Line?
Well, I think it's probably one of the most well-run tournaments I have ever seen, and I've been involved quite a bit when I was in the Midwest in projects such as this, but I don't think it's ever been organized as this, and I think everyone's really done a good job working at it.
This is no ordinary bus stop, and these folks aren't going into town for a day of shopping. They've packed their survival kits, in this case a cooler with plenty of liquid refreshment, and then on the bus they go. The Bus. It's a friendly bus, a lot of chatter and anticipation. A few minutes go by and on to Fiesta Island we go. Normally, this island is used for very little. But 2 weekends out of the year, the old Mission Beach Athletic Club takes over, and Over the Line is the result. There's an open division, a ladies division, and a Canardly division. for those who can hardly move to field the softball. Today was just the beginning. The tournament runs tomorrow, the next weekend, and possibly the Saturday after that for the finals only. You be the judge. If you like people, sand, and a lot of sun, this is for you. Just remember the on-back slogan.
We never have any fun.
The bodies, all the girls, beautiful. Plus a lot of beer, good time. It's great out here.
Over the line tournament, I was here last year, I come from New York. I tell you one thing, the women are great. Forget about the game, the women are great.
Well, I think it's the year of the women, and the ladies are real hot this year, and we're coming on, and we're having a great time. Why don't you guys join us?
Seems a lot of people did. By the 1980s, you could feel the changing times at OTL, from neon swimsuits to Ray-Ban shades. And it got some real recognition, with July of 1981 being declared over-the-line month in California. The weekend kept getting bigger, experiencing some growing pains along the way. And when it came to social propriety, this event certainly crossed many lines, but no one seemed to be complaining.
For many over-the-line aficionados, the bats and ball games are secondary to other interests such as hanging out, leching, and getting loaded on the poisons of their choice. With more than 700 teams playing on 25 fields, it's a full-time job to keep track of the teams and standings.
No bananas, no cherries. No bananas, no cherries.
The tournament is now in its 27th year, and sponsors from the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club couldn't be more pleased with the players' growing creativity and coming up with lewd names for their teams. With all the beer being consumed, one of the most popular attractions was a row of outhouses. And with all this time on their hands, a few pranksters turned to other forms of amusement. By far the most interesting sidelight is trolling for Miss Emerson, some good-natured woman whose physique will be lauded next Saturday night so as to avoid a recurrence of the daytime crowd stampedes of years past. So a few girls watchers appointed themselves judges.
Hey, you're two, get out of the way.
Miss Emerson isn't a title for hardcore feminists, but after all, the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club is dedicated to the pursuit of hedonism. As one longtime OMBAC member put it, boys will be boys. Gene Cubison, News 8, Fiesta Island.
Each year, the cheers get louder, and the ping of aluminum bats hitting softballs multiply. After 28 years of play in San Diego, supporters say Over the Line is now the fastest growing sport in the world. It's so popular, more than 700 teams signed up for play in this year's World Championships at Fiesta Island. The athletes don't play because of the glamour of big-time sports. They play because it's just plain fun to do. Over the Line and the people who play it are purely California. It is becoming such a summer ritual, our lawmakers have given it a whole month of its own.
Well, the resolution does two things. First of all, it declares this month, July, to be Over the Line month in California. And it should be, because I think this game is played just about more than any other sport during the month of July, and we have more tournaments. And secondly, it asks the Olympic Committee to select Over the Line as the American new sport entry in the 1984 Olympics.
Over the Line started in the sand, and it's considered somewhat of a sacrilege to play it anywhere but on sand. The tournament's founding father was Mike Curran.
We just played it on the beach, and it's just one of those games that probably just evolved because you didn't have enough people to play something else.
As a game, Over the Line is relatively easy to play. You hit the ball over the line, and 3 hits equal a run. You wouldn't think of it as a game with many injuries, but there are. Mostly superficial, of course, but some are disabling.
It looks serious. What happened?
Trying to make a valiant effort to go for a foul ball, I exploded my knee.
Did you catch the ball?
I sure did, but as soon as it cracked, I dropped.
There are 2 types of over-the-line player. Those who depend on pure clout and hit the ball as far as they can, and those who play with surgical accuracy.
The old-time over-the-line players say the young guys just want to slug the ball as far as they can, while they want to place it in the different corners with more finesse. The younger guys say that's just not true.
There's a lot of young guys out there with a lot of finesse, and we don't try and kill it.
Tell them about the game we won.
But if they play in short, we're going to put it over their heads. But we have just as much finesse as they do.
Over the Line is sponsored yearly in San Diego by the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club, OMBAC for short. OMBAC feels too much is said and written about behavior at its annual tournament, and not enough attention is paid to the sport. Perhaps that's because the attitude at the tournament, by some standards, is permissive. By others, it's downright perverted. Most teams' names seem to be inspired from reading Hustler magazine, and the chatter on the public address system is oftentimes too vile to play back on TV.
On court 9, next up again versus just.
I guess you can give it any name you want to, but I think it's, it's kind of fun. I'd even say it's kind of clean fun. It doesn't hurt anybody. Nobody ever gets in fights out here. We just have a good time in the sun.
At the end of each World Championship, an over-the-line queen is chosen. She's called Miss Emerson. In past years, Miss Emerson has been persuaded to go topless for judges and the crowd. OMBAC says it's cleaned up the Miss Emerson contest. We'll see if that's true in part 2 of our look at Over the Line. As much as it is a sport, it is a festival where inhibitions are dropped and where overindulgence of nearly every kind is accepted.
Unlike most sporting tournaments, Over the Line has its own beauty queen. She's dubbed Miss Emerson in reference to her anatomy. Would you like to be Miss Emerson?
Well, I just don't think I have what it takes upstairs.
Oh, you're not smart enough?
You know what I mean.
The 20,000 people who show up on Fiesta Island on a typical over-the-line day in July make it a point to wear as little clothing as possible. And it seems the girls who would be Miss Emerson wear the least clothing of all.
A girl with obvious assets, that's what Miss Emerson's all about.
Karen, would you like to be Miss Emerson?
No. Well, the only thing I heard is that, they take their tops off and everything and show all the guys, and I'm just not that kind of person.
In years gone by, Miss Emerson has been asked to bear the physical attributes that helped her become queen. But that doesn't happen anymore. The judges now take a more prudent stand on the issue.
That's something we're trying to live down. That's totally erroneous. No, we don't make them take anything off that they don't want to. I mean, we don't turn our backs on it, but no, we don't encourage that at all. In fact, I can't think of any Miss Emerson who took her tops off for us.
To see what it takes to become OMBAC's Miss Emerson, we followed several candidates through the application procedure.
You're just more or less a goodwill little beauty in our club. You represent our club throughout the year. So if you fill out these applications, and we'll take a couple of pictures of you.
Okay. First, young ladies were asked to fill out a form, listing among other things their name and age. Age is important because OMBAC is made up of prominent businessmen, some attorneys, and even a couple of San Diego police officers. The form also asks the girls' measurements. If she doesn't know them, OMBAC members are standing by with a tape measure, ready to help.
Okay, we have,
Still got it screwed. No, you're that.
30. You're 35.
Still got it screwed.
No way. You got the wrong end.
Next comes the photo session. The girls are taken to a small crevice behind 2 tents, where they're asked to pose for camera and about a dozen OMBAC members.
A little more so. Yeah. There, yeah. Body around this way. There it is. Okay. There it is. Straight up there.
It all seems a little seedy, but then this is Over the Line, and it's okay to act a bit unruly. And the girls, after all, don't seem to mind.
Okay, does it bother you that they ask you to take off your top or suggest that you do?
No, as long as I don't have to do it, it's fine.
I don't want to have to take off any clothes or anything like that, but as long as I don't, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. No, not at all. They made it clear that they wouldn't mind.
Laura Nencaro, News 8, Fiesta Island.
It's become an annual summertime pilgrimage for many people in San Diego. The operative word here is many. By 10 in the morning, the police had closed off Fiesta Island to cars, and so you had to improvise to get there, which they did. By foot, by wheels, and by smaller wheels, they flocked to Fiesta Island. So what is it they find when they do finally get out here? What they find are even more crowds. Today, they estimate that 30,000 people came to play and to watch. What they play here is a game that has some of the same equipment as baseball, but different rules.
Don't have to run, no running or anything. Just hit the ball and hope the other guy doesn't catch it.
That's it.
That's it.
Much of the entertainment is not in the game itself, but in the announcements of who is playing who.
Our name is Fireman in Heat.
How'd you come up with that?
We're all 3 of us are firefighters, City of El Cajon.
That name was tame. although Marie Gordon didn't seem to be fazed by even those a bit rougher.
I loved it.
There is a purpose to this tournament. The money collected allows the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club members to do various charity and civic works, all in a good cause. Lorraine Kimmel, News 8, Fiesta Island.
Oh man, the 80s were a thing, man. In the 1990s, the names were every bit as colorful and every bit as inappropriate for broadcast. But that didn't stop some of the OTL faithful from bringing their kids, and even those kids knew they weren't in the right place. No matter, that's just one of the joys of the OTL tournament. When you walk onto that island, you can leave adulthood and all your grown-up concerns behind.
Over the line. Definitely a sporting event for women and men. Every year here, under the sun and in the sand, a tradition completely unique to San Diego takes place. And it's always a challenge to find team names that can be said on the air.
Taurus and up no butter. You're now playing on 8 Flying Brothers and Go Down Loveland Ski Patrol.
The girls are a little raunchier than the guys for once. They love it, they do it, and they say it. None of them are hiding anything.
This is an event to see and be seen at, and intermingled with the adults are children. You may wonder why any adult would bring a youngster to something that could never draw a PG rating.
To show them what San Diego's like. What is it like? What do you think? It's totally awesome.
Next up, wrap your
It's probably more of an adult place than a kid's place.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's all right.
They're going to learn about it sooner or later, so why not now? And it's under good supervision, I feel.
No, I see a lot of kids. It's fun just to kick back and watch people play and watch people make fools of themselves.
Maybe the youngsters are learning something here after all. Gina Lou, News 8, Fiesta Island.
Programs, all kinds of programs. Get out there. Over the Line, a nice, clean Sunday family sporting event at the beach. Not.
What is it? It's fun?
Fun. Lots of fun. Lots of it.
It's the epitome of healthy living.
It's like I'm back. People think it means Old Mission Beach Athletic Club. It's actually old men behaving as children.
It's indoctrinating visitors to beach softball.
6 people out there doing something, and they're trying to make something happen. I don't know what, but everybody comes around and looks like they're having a good time.
It's a show. A real show.
It's debutantes like Miss Emerson.
It's the opportunity to come out, play a game.
It's not a hat, it's a hangover.
Have a good time.
Don't get no better than this.
Socialize with your friends. See lots of women in bikinis and lots of men in bikinis too.
Some awesome hitting, some wonderful defense.
In other words, the experience is unique.
Well, this is the most fantastic thing that ever happens in the world. No other place can this happen.
If hers is an understatement.
What do they show us? Everything.
His, quite possibly, is the understatement of the decade. Graham Ledger, News 8.
For 44 years, OMBAC has hosted San Diego's most unusual beach party. Of course, the premise is smashing a ball over a line in the sand. 1,100 teams take care of that. The rest of Fiesta Island is covered with a circus-like carnival, complete with all kinds of performers.
Vegas is a tough town, tough town.
I like your bathing suit.
Oh, I made it myself.
The honorary ringmaster of this circus is the reigning over-the-line beauty queen called Miss Emerson.
Can I be dressed like this and win Miss Emerson? Do I have a chance?
Yeah, 2 chances, slim and none.
I don't have a chance.
Although there are some very serious players out here, other participants have their priorities lined up differently.
Fun, and fun. Winning first, looking second, drinking beer right up there in between the two.
Some just come to people watch.
I had brought 44 rolls of film. And I intend to shoot it all.
It takes more than a few pictures and a fresh coat of Fiesta Island dirt on you to prove you've been to OTL. Tradition says you've got to buy a t-shirt.
They're collector's items. I mean, people have them. I've got them since 1968 myself.
Each year, the beach party gets a little crazier, which is exactly what this audience and these performers are here for.
We started at 0 beer 100.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what time are we leaving?
In
about 9 hours.
Susan Schur, KFMB News 8.
Hi, Mom. I'm at work right now.
By the turn of the century, more than 50,000 people, fans and participants, were coming to the OTL tournament. With more than 1,100 teams, OTL fought to keep its place as a celebration of irreverent and hopefully harmless decadence with a little competition mixed in. And despite a ban on alcohol at City of San Diego beaches, the on-back party was allowed to go on.
It's outrageous, athletic, sarcastic, and downright naughty. And it'll attract some 50,000 fans to Fiesta Island this weekend and next. It is Over the Line, for the 48th year sponsored by the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club. Each team has 3 players on it, with more than 1,100 teams competing.
How do you translate your football skills to your baseball skills?
I don't really have any baseball skills. It's all luck, you know. I'm a football player, so I don't know. I just try to do my best, I guess.
Male and female compete from ages 18 to 75.
We actually are very disappointed that the women play so much later because we've been ready to play.
We've been ready all day, and
we've been sitting here and there's no pink up there. We don't know when we're playing.
It's all boys up until now. Like
very
we're waiting.
chauvinistic.
The team names are mostly unacceptable on a family channel, so we won't show them. And you find spectators tend to people watch more than watch the athletic action.
There's a lot of beautiful girls, nice looking guys for the other girls, you know, just come out, see different ethnics having a good time, you know, getting together.
Oh, this is just the way we sat for now. You get to watch the people go by.
And I should know better than to ask too many questions.
We got to see everything that comes in. We gotta see
everything that's coming in?
Everything that got to come in. We got to see it. Yes.
Such as?
Like you, for example.
Yeah, keep on talking.
Despite everything going on, some folks find themselves talking on the phone.
You're out here and over the line and you're on the telephone?
I have to talk to my wife. She didn't want to come.
To keep things on an even keel, security is very visible.
This is a very tough job, patrolling the area, ensuring that people out here don't get out of hand. It's very hard, very difficult work.
Sure it is. So difficult, they'll probably be back tomorrow. Kathy Chin, KFMB News 8.
It's a lot of good people having a great time.
A great time that was nearly alcohol-free after the city of San Diego banned booze on all local beaches earlier this year. But for these over-the-line fans and participants, banning beer for this 55-year-old tradition would be crossing the line.
They have a special permit, so this is the only time you can drink on the beach for this summer is this weekend and next weekend down here.
The event organizer, the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club, received a special waiver allowing alcohol only on the playing fields on Fiesta Island, in the club's RV parking lot, and in the club's reserved parking lot. Boundaries that are being strictly enforced.
I mean, even here, like, I worry that if I walk past the wrong boundary that I might be in trouble.
A temporary lift on the ban that these over-the-line fans say they appreciate after months of no alcohol on local beaches.
The permit is the best.
Taking advantage of it as much as we possibly can.
People are still having fun, getting crazy. It's just I think it's just a lot more pent up, and I think it's all being released right now.
And while police report no major problems so far, some over-the-line participants may be over their limits.
I think people are taking a little more advantage of it too because they haven't been able to drink. And I mean, I just saw a guy fall down right now, and it's 2 o'clock.
That was Richard Allen. Now, over the last decade, we saw the peak of OTL with more than 1,200 teams coming on some years to an unforeseen valley when COVID hit. But it's hard to keep a good party down, and Over the Line wasn't about to just fade away.
As tradition would have it, the 61st annual Over the Line tournament on Fiesta Island kicked off Saturday with big crowds.
I like drinking beer, being in the sun, hitting balls, you know, being with the homies. It's all good. It's a great day.
Competitive games.
spectacle.
And creative team names, most of which we can't see on TV. OTL began as a game made up by 3 guys who wanted to kill time while waiting in line for a volleyball court in Mission Beach. It has since become a popular event which draws thousands of spectators as well as 1,250 teams from all over the world.
Do you have anything like this in Scotland?
Nothing like that at all. This is special.
Put on by the Old Mission Bay Athletic Club, or OMBAC, OTL is a sport where you score runs by hitting a ball in designated areas. Organizers say while the tournament has been known for its crazier past, nowadays things are different and security is everywhere.
People don't bring their garbage here. People are very peaceful. We monitor it. We maintain everything. We make sure that everybody's happy, everybody has a good time.
But the tradition almost didn't go on as planned this year. The city considered banning people from bringing their own alcohol and excluding anyone under the age of 21 from attending. Then, less than a week ago, Mayor Faulkner announced the tournament was granted a permit without those restrictions.
You know what? It wouldn't have been OTL if it wasn't BYOB.
We're old school, so we definitely like it back to normal. We'll never argue that one.
And the celebrations don't end there. OTL runs through tomorrow and next weekend as well.
Hey, they couldn't do it any other way.
Yeah, baby.
We love it.
We're having a good time.
It's back on Fiesta Island. The over-the-line tournament is in its 68th year, and while some people think it's just a giant party, well, I mean, it sort of is, but people are out here trying to become the best in the world. It's become a staple of the San Diego lifestyle.
Beautiful day as usual in San Diego. It doesn't get any better than this, playing out here.
And with its notorious reputation and high-stakes bragging rights, this is the granddaddy of beach tournaments. After a year of hiatus, the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club's over-the-line tournament is back in the sand at Fiesta Island. To play, hitters must attempt to get a softball over the line on the fly, 60 feet from home. Players in the outfield can catch the ball in the air to get the batter out.
This year we're a little scaled back. We're only doing a one-weekend event, but we're very excited to get back on the sand.
It's Brad Pagano and the guys over at OMBC to organize the hundreds of teams, usually with names I can't say on air, for the 2-day tournament.
Next on one, you can polish the turd, but it's still a piece of shit.
Of course, the OTL tournament is known for the party atmosphere of the crowd and the ridiculous uniforms.
The best costume this year.
But there is a highly competitive aspect to the games. As the biggest OTL tournament in the galaxy, if you win the top division, you're probably the best in the world. And the best could be this guy right here, 8-time champion Scott Bello.
If I see it on the news all the time that, you know, this is just a drinking party. Well, the first weekend is kind of a drinking party, but the second weekend when you're out here, there's a lot of players that put a lot of time into this. You know, like we've been hitting probably since January.
The OTL tournament is a San Diego tradition, and it's good to be back with a cold drink and your Louisville Slugger.
This is our World Championship. This is our Augusta. This is our U.S. Open. This is our Super Bowl.
Tim Blodgett, News 8.
By 2022, the over-the-line tournament was close to its pre-pandemic levels, 2 whole weekends again, and in 2023 celebrates its 70th anniversary. Thank you so much for watching this Throwback special. To see more throwbacks like this one on CBS 8+, click on the News tab at the top of the screen. I'm Carlo Cicchetto. We'll see you next time.